I have this routine every morning. And part of that routine is dealing with this foot. I got to deal with it every day. A lot of people have things they got to deal with every day. You know, this is a passing thing for me. What about all those folks who have a hard time getting around all the time, no matter what? You know, you become more aware of all those things when you can't get around them. One of the things I noticed, I've been supposed to stay off my foot as much as possible. And it's working for me now, but that means I got to use one of those little carts at Food City. You know how many people don't see you in a cart at Food City? It is ridiculous. You're in this big thing, you know, you're going down the aisle, they're coming at you, and they don't move. So it's funny, all these things that go through my mind on a morning when I'm dealing with my foot. There's several things I got to do. I got to bandage it, which is not a big deal. I've become very proficient in bandaging my foot, almost to the point of loving my foot.
Oh, that's good.
You know what? It's one of those members that Paul is talking about. This foot gets me where I need to go. And I'm proud for how this foot has stood up in spite of my own silliness. But I have a lot of time to think when I'm trying to decide how I'm going to get this crazy half-steel boot on. And the other foot, you know, I got another foot. It's not getting much attention. That only has to do peripherally with what I'm talking about today. Are you enslaved to God? Ooh, that's a tough thing, isn't it? A lot of things have happened this week. Some things have made me angry. Maybe so angry I could cry. I'm a person who benefited from being an Indian in my education. I did. It wasn't affirmative action. The tribes were set up by Indian Health Services to deal with some issues around education. One of the things that they would do is they would give you money for education as long as you did it paid back in the community. Well, I did that for a long time. But I still ended up with student loans. A lot of people did. It was the only way we could get through college. I couldn't go to college without loans. I mean, the tuition at the college I was going to was ridiculous. It's ridiculous at most decent universities. But I did it, and I got to pay that money back, no matter what. That's the deal I made. That wasn't affirmative action. It came from the federal government through a different avenue to make sure that Indians could get educated so they could take care of their own people. And a lot of Indians are taking advantage of that. They're going to college, government's paying for it, and then they go back to the reservation and work as nurses or doctors, in my case, psychologists. I worked in the San Diego American Indian Health Center for quite a while as a person running mental health programs. The interesting thing was that none of those counted to help pay back my student loans. So I did all that work. I actually was going to school full-time, and I was running the San Diego American Indian Health Center full-time. I don't know how I did it. Well, I was younger. But that was the way that it was when I was trying to get my education, when I was trying to get those degrees that are so important. that made me a specialist on you. I'm an expert on you. Because I'm a psychologist. So I know how y'all think. Yeah, try that one with my wife. I love my wife. I joke about her a lot. I love her dearly. And she's a commander. And sometimes she has to get my attention, and I appreciate that, because I'm slow to attend to things sometimes. But am I enslaved to God? Am I righteous? Am I righteous, understanding that part of that reward is a relationship with Jesus Christ? You can't serve two masters. You ever been at work when somebody was your manager but somebody else wanted to give you orders? That kind of happened to me once in the Navy, once or twice in the Navy. We straightened that out. But it was difficult, confusing, and maybe dangerous on the ship. Who do I serve? Do I serve the Lord Jesus Christ with all my heart and all my mind? Because if I'm serving another master, and we're talking about these kinds of things, who would be the other master? When I do something I'm ashamed of, I pray to God for forgiveness. Every Sunday we do that, pretty much. But who is that relationship with, where I feel guilty and ashamed? Part of being a Christian is being able to give that over, understanding that the Lord knows that we're humans. But if you ask for forgiveness and continue to do the same things over and over again, that means a couple of things. It may mean you're not really all that together. But what it also means is that if you're not serving Jesus, I think, that you're adding to the illness in the world. For us, Jesus Christ has to be the point. We serve Jesus Christ. Don't we raise your hand if you serve Jesus Christ. The best way that you can, right? Don't lose heart. Jesus said we'll receive our reward if we recognize, develop, and nurture that relationship with the Lord. I believe He's just waiting for us to say hello. Do you say hello to God? I mean, how do you pray? If you get up in the morning, do you say, "Hi, God, I'm here"? Or you go into something heavier and more extensive? You know, I like the idea of saying hi to God in the morning. I like the idea of saying hi to Jesus Christ in the morning. Because it reinforces that I have that relationship, that I'll never lose that relationship. But that means I have to look at who I'm serving. There's a dark world out there. There's some dark aspects to it, and they're showing their face. The dark things are showing their face in ways that have surprised us, infuriated us, maybe wanted us to go out and march. It's an interesting word. My marching days may be over. But this is where you go to who you are, inside the core of yourself as a human being and as a servant of Christ, you go there and you pray. Whatever form it takes. And then you go out into the world out there and you do your best to act like Jesus Christ. Will we ever be like Jesus Christ? In some ways, yes, that's a promise. To be like Jesus Christ means that most of the time you don't have to worry about whether or not you're righteous. You just do the right thing. And we're living in a world where it's not getting done all that much. The right thing. What do we have to tick off this last week? Abortion, affirmative action, gay rights. There are people out there who want to get rid of all these things, all the work that's been done to help people who are less fortunate. It's a threatening thing. So where do we go? We go to the Lord. You could either be angry all the time, or you could be like Jesus. Jesus Christ. Can't say that name enough today. Righteousness. Am I righteous? You be the judge. I'm hard on myself in terms of whether or not I'm righteous. But I look at all these faces and I see the message. It's good to be back with you all. Paige, good to see you, Paige. Embry, I missed you. I really do. You know, all of you folks, Trish in the back there, Rick, you know, all of you. Those days that I was out sitting at home, watching as many episodes of First Alaskan as I could get under the bed. I mean, what do you do when you're laying flat on your back? That's what I was doing, First Alaska, seeing every episode. What else have I seen every episode of? That happens when you're laying flat on your back. But anyway, I am so really, truly happy to be back here with all of you. Suzanne, thanks for your help. Gail Brown. What can I say? Gail's my friend. She is a servant of Christ, as are all you. God bless you all. Have a great day today. It's a good life, isn't it? Amen.
Amen. Amen.